Very, very encouraging. I mean, great and really a nice place by Dilson. I mean, and that's a tough angle to turn a double play with. But Wilmer did a nice job, got himself in good position, and made a, and like I've said, we know he's got the arm strength. It's just a matter of making sure his feet are, going where they're supposed to be going. So, but he did a good job. He had a good game today.
You see, I mean, it's easy to ask this question when he had 3 hits today, but do you see, as he's starting to play more, any improvement? Are you seeing things that are getting a little bit better with him?
Well, Kevin, I think he's getting more comfortable, period, being on the field. But as we saw the other day, when he played second, he's real comfortable there. And I just think it's going to, the more he plays it short, the better he's going to be. But like I said, if he continues to get base hits, he's going to play.
Terry, a couple hits for David today in an RBI. Knowing what he's playing through, for the young guys, is there something the young guys can learn by watching him continue to go out there and battle through this? Well,
one thing about David, he's never going to make an excuse. That's just not his nature. It's not his game. He's told me, I had a long conversation with him the other day, that obviously he said, hey, my shoulder's fine to play with. It's not 100%, but it's fine to play with. And I think if you're a young guy, you got to just watch the way he handles things. We've talked about his preparation, but he's accountable, and that's a huge part of being up here at this level, and making sure that you understand. Hey, look, there's expectations here, and if you're not living up to them, don't try to hide it. Just stand up and be a man. And I think if they see how he's approaching things right now with you guys, and with all the stuff being said, and the slump he's in, he doesn't change, and I think that's a great learning experience for him.
Terry, could you just give your thoughts on Dillon Gee's performance and how he battled in the 5th and 6th when it could have really gotten away right there?
Yeah, he can. I mean, these guys are really tough on him. I don't know what it is, but they've got great numbers against him. And, Dillon today, early in the game, I thought he pitched very well. I thought he made pitches on the corners. He hung the ball to Ryan, which is he just kills him. So, but, that's what Dillon Gee does. He hangs in there, keeps you in the game. I mean, nobody was more shocked when he walked out and threw 4 straight balls in the 7th than I was. But, again, he got us deep in the game, which with the way our bullpen is at the moment, we needed that.
Yeah, Bill. Terry, just about the character of this team. I mean, we're getting into September. The team wins 2 games in a row, and they keep battling.
Well, we're very young right now, as you can see. We 5 rookies in the lineup today. We're very, very young. They bring energy to the team. I think the older players feed off that a little bit. This team has showed it all year long. We haven't played anywhere near like we thought we were going to, but they come to the clubhouse each day with a smile on their face, getting ready to play. And I don't think there's any other way to go about it. You can't get down about things. You got to make sure you stay positive, and this team does that, and it's due to the fact that our veteran leadership on this team are 2 positive guys. They don't let you get down, and I think it's going to, again, as you look down the road with all these young players that are here, I think they're going to be better because of what they're getting out of our veteran players.
Terry, thoughts on Neuenhuis's contributions today, especially the steal in the 8th inning?
Big steal in the 8th. Swung the bat good today. We got to get him in there once in a while. And he knows why he's here. He knows that Granny's going to play. He knows that we told him that Dendecker's going to play. And again, he's accepted it and makes the most of his chances when he's in the lineup. And it was a good game for him.
Yes, sir.
That first inning play where Herrera seemed to maybe lose that fly ball and then David backed him up, was that just kind of a lost ball? Can you talk about also David having the wherewithal to go after it?
It really was, which you will see a lot at the highest levels. You have an all-star calling it. Everybody else turns and runs. He calls it, it's his. And nobody wants to call off David Wright on a pop-up. I think Dilson just heard David call it, didn't realize the wind was blowing towards him, and then all of a sudden he said, oh my gosh, and had to close it up. But he'll learn from it because, we talk about priorities on pop-ups all the time, and they got to call David off that ball when it starts to get closer to them. It's an easier play. So, again, learning experience, I think.
What is the significance for the player, for Lagares, to steal a base at a big time, to create a rally? When you're hoping that maybe that becomes part of his game, if not this year, sometimes.
Well, he's got to become part of his game, Kevin. He's got foot speed, and we've got to get him to be aggressive. Again, if you're going to be a good base stealer, you can't worry about getting thrown out. What you got to worry about is getting a good lead, trying to get a good jump, and if you do those two things, you're going to be safe the majority of the time. So, but I think the more we make Juan do it, I think the better he's going to get at it.
Okay, Jerry.
Terry, what kind of boost do you guys get when guys like Kirk and Recker backups and then Evelyn just kind of worked his way up the bullpen chain, contribute like they did today for you?
Jerry, I'm going to tell you, that's how you win. That's how you win games, period. If you can get that more consistently, where, you know what, the middle of your lineup has a bad game, which they're going to have, and all of a sudden those guys you stick in there have a big game. It just makes a huge difference, and it takes a lot of heat off the guys who every day, you know, they get worn down. And once in a while, that fresh blood in the lineup can lift you up. So today it did. Huh? Well, Dana's, you know, he's done a good job. Edgin's down for a while, so Dana's the guy we had to turn to today, and with that part of the lineup, and God, he made some huge pitches, made some big pitches. But you know, we were again fortunate enough to have those pitches made to where those big guys who have done damage against our left-handed pitching didn't today.
Any last one?
How about the young guy at second base coming through with the
Base it up the middle?
scoring?
I'm sure that's a big thrill for him. I bet it's huge. And again, I think the more he does some things like that, he's going to realize he belongs here. Right now, I'm sure he's not sure with all the hoopla and all the other things going with being here. You know, it's one of the reasons why we really like to start those young guys on the road, to kind of just get their feet wet a little bit. But he dove in here in New York and handled himself great, and he's going to be fun to watch.
Quick with Edge, and I know the rosters are expanding, but is this something that you expect him to be out for a while, Terry? Is it still day?
Yeah, the elbow still is pretty sore. So he threw the other night. We got him up the other night to bring him in a game, and he didn't finish. It was bothering him that much. So he's going to see a doctor this week again and see if we can get that quieted down.